What is going on, Cantaloupes? I'm Mike Cantalupo. Listen, whenever you win a championship, and I haven't won a championship, but I've seen plenty of people win championships before, it's perfectly acceptable to get totally emotional about it. Sometimes it's just out of pure joy of finally accomplishing something that you've been waiting for your whole life, but other times it's a more heartfelt reason. Today we're talking about those more heartfelt reasons when we talk about the 10 most emotional championship victories ever. And a huge shout out to my guy Jonathan Calabro for suggesting this video. Make sure to keep suggesting videos down in the comment section below. Hopefully we'll get to them sometime soon. And if you aren't following us on social media yet, please make sure to do it, because I'm just going to keep on saying this until, well, we have 300,000 plus subscribers on YouTube. So I'm going to keep saying it until we have 300,000 plus followers on social media, so please do it. Number 10, the Broncos helped the Sheriff ride off into the sunset. Peyton Manning has the NFL's record for most career touchdowns, passing yards, and MVPs, but the man had only one Super Bowl entering 2015 at age 39. It was clear to almost every football fan that his career was on a steep decline, but luckily, he was surrounded by an awesome team in the Denver Broncos, and they made it to the Super Bowl for him. And then, after a really mediocre performance in the Super Bowl by Manning, the rest of the team stepped up and won it for Peyton.
Super Bowl for the team for which he played. Peyton hoisting the trophy.
Number 9, the Rangers and 54 years of misery. The Rangers were the NHL's best team in the 1994 regular season, but they hadn't won a Stanley Cup since 1940. They made their way to the Stanley Cup Finals, and it was an awesome Game 7 matchup against the Vancouver Canucks, where Mark Messier and the rest of the squad got it done. Number 8. LeBron finally fulfills his promise. Listen, we all know this story, so I'll just run through it quickly. He was born in Akron, Ohio, and then he was drafted by the Cleveland Cavaliers. He didn't win Cleveland a championship in his first go-around in Cleveland. Then he went to Miami and won 2 of them. So, needless to say, everybody in Cleveland hated LeBron, but then all of a sudden, he went back to Cleveland. And finally, after it looked like there was no shot, after being down 3-1 against the Golden State Warriors, Golden State blew a 3-1 lead. Got it in there.
As soon as that buzzer sounded, your emotions let loose. Can you describe what you're feeling right now?
I set out a goal 2 years when I came back to bring a championship to this city. Cleveland! This is for you! Oh!
Number 7, this one's for John. We all know John Elway as one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time, but at age 37, he had yet to win a Super Bowl. It looked like he was just another great player that couldn't perform during the big game. He lost his first 3 Super Bowls, but this one against the Green Bay Packers, he and the rest of the team stepped up, and John finally took one home.
Come on, John, come on. Come on!
Inside the 10, head first, he dives inside the 5-yard line.
Yeah!
After their 31-27 victory, Broncos president and CEO Pat Bowlen said this.
There's only 4 words. This one's for John.
Number 6, the Red Sox and the drought. Okay, I talk about this one all the time, it seems like, but it's such a memorable series that I guess we have to. 86-year World Series drought for the Boston Red Sox. Everything that could have gone wrong for them in the last 86 years did. The curse of the Bambino, Bill Buckner, Aaron Boone, you name it, everything went wrong for the Red Sox. And it looked like in 2004 when they were in the ALCS that it was just going to be another Red Sox moment of going wrong. But they came back and won that series, and then boom, they didn't skip a beat in the World Series, sweeping the Cardinals, and finally, the Red Sox win the World Series. Number 5, the Saints first Super Bowl. Everybody remembers Hurricane Katrina in 2005 and the devastation it left in New Orleans. The Superdome pretty much became a shelter for thousands of displaced people in New Orleans, and it kind of became a symbol of New Orleans' resilience throughout this whole process. When the Saints finally came back, they had some really emotional moments, but 3 years after Hurricane Katrina, the Saints had their shot at a Super Bowl, and there was no city that deserved this win more than the city of New Orleans.
Realizing the dream of so many New Orleanians.
Number 4, Tiger wins it for his father. We all know Tiger was the greatest golfer for well over a decade. From 1997 to 2008, he won 14 major championships. And a lot of that has to do to his dad, Earl, who since the age of 2 was his mentor, was his everything when it came around to golf. Now we flash forward to the 2006 Open Championship. Earl had passed away just 2 months before of a heart attack, and he was in Tiger's mind the entire time, and Tiger produced one of his greatest performances of all time.
The relief.
Tiger Woods is the 135th Open champion. He is the champion golfer of the year. And there's emotion there because I'm sure he's thinking of his father and how much his father would have loved to have been here and see him winning in this way. His father who died earlier this year, his father who was such an influence on Tiger.
Number 3, after 22 years, Ray Bourque is one of the most dominant NHL players of all time. His 1,579 points is the most all-time in NHL history for defensemen. He's played nearly 2 decades for the Boston Bruins, but after 22 years, the man still found himself without a Stanley Cup championship. He came close in 2001, but he was back in the Stanley Cup Finals in 2002, and the Avs, I mean, is simply put, won it for Ray. Number 2, 108 years later. 108 years. That should be the only thing I ever need to say about this. The Cubs hadn't won the World Series in 108 years, and it looked like it wasn't going to happen last year when they were finally back in the World Series. They were trailing the Indians 3-1, but Chicago rallied back and finally won it all.
It's over, and the Cubs have finally won it all.
I'm not even remotely a Cubs fan, but that was so emotional for me, and I think really just sports fans in general, because we could understand what waiting for a championship for so long feels like. Number 1, MJ wins it for his dad. Not long after the Bulls won their 3rd straight title, MJ's father, James, was shot dead while sleeping in his car. He found his way into the NBA Finals with the Bulls in 1996, and you could tell by the emotion that was felt afterwards that his dad was in his mind the entire time.
96 NBA championship. And the presentation of the championship trophy in just a moment.
Which championship moment was your favorite? Join me in the comments below. Let me know if I missed any. Let me know which one is your favorite. Follow us on social media if you haven't yet. Please subscribe to us because we put out videos every single day. Until next time, I'm Mike Cantalupo. Thanks for watching.